Yes, yes. Now let's see how this goes then. This is my first video that I'm doing live on YouTube. Not really live, but I was talking about cattle and how they're going to be. Well, let me see. How they're causing environmental greenhouse gases like methane and all this horse shit. No, actually cow shit. It's making up about 2.5% or something like that. I've heard it on. I heard Sean Baker or some of them carnivore dudes talk about it. It's making up shit. Fuck all of the greenhouse gases, and so all the vegans talk about how it's going to be environmentally friendly to go vegan, but they're not taking into account the environmental impact that the production or the transportation of the food is going to cause to the environment. Animals are part of the ecosystem. They are part of the environment. Us over farming them has less to do with uh, less to do with machinery, and stuff that's going to cause the use of stored carbon to be released. Cattle use whatever's in the atmosphere. They're part of this cycle. So plants are going to cost more to the earth and to the environment than cattle will, seemingly because to farm plants you have to control a lot more things. You have to control pesticides, you have to control other herbs, you have to have a monocrop in a certain amount of land for a certain amount of time, and the soil has to be kind of put on steroids to make that to make that plant thrive. If you want only that plant to thrive, so it's a very controlled environment. You're controlling a lot more factors in the environment to farm plants, whereas cattle, you kind of you're like a referee in the natural flow of nature, a natural flow of the environment the cattle are in. You're a referee. You don't overgrazing is a thing too, but overgrazing in a certain part of the land doesn't affect the microbiome of that land so much. Overgrazing can cause soil erosion, but then that's just a dumb farmer. He's losing his land from overgrazing. So there's so many things that people don't talk about, don't take into account when trying to sum up both sides of that argument. So I just think it's very funny. And I think as our own part of the environment as humans is just as important as the part of plants and the part of animals. We kind of just focus on us playing God, but like nature doesn't care what part each of us play. If it's all in a symbiosis, it doesn't give a shit if it's in chaos, if the whole world explodes. It doesn't give a shit. That's just it doing its job. But we can kind of resonate with it and keep things in a homeostasis as a natural progression as nature unfolds, or as like life unfolds on this earth or in this solar system. But to cut animals out just because, or to cut out the consumption of animal, or to cut out our own natural natural ability to consume animals, or to thrive on animal foods, or to thrive on plant foods, to start to manage these things and control them, or restrict them, doesn't seem to make much sense to me. To actually start to control them does make sense. Like if you can referee that that type of farming, so that we live more naturally with it instead of against it, makes more sense to me. So I had a brain fart halfway through there because I ate a load of bread this morning. And I feel like I can't breathe. I don't know why that is. Could be because I'm sitting down. And it could be because I'm talking shit. And it could be because I drank a lot of coffee and I've been taking a lot of drugs. Or no, I haven't taken any drugs. I've just drank alcohol, which is the worst one. If it was drugs, it wouldn't be too bad. But I smoked. Maybe smoking has a lot to do with it. And yeah, that's it. I think I share this on YouTube. Whatever sort of random sense it makes, if any at all, it's my brain verbally trying to understand two sides of this argument. And the debate is going on in my head to this day. So I'm not really looking at the camera, which I should be, but you can kind of see my eyes, they're focused on some sort of a direction. And I'm glad I tested out this little microphone because it's sick. Have a good one. Happy New Year. Might not post this. I very might will. Because why not? Bye. Well, bye is a weird word. It's kind of meaning to be beside. Goodbye, more like.